Okie dokie. In the last video, in lesson 4, we talked about factor by grouping, and we did the basics, and we did 2 sample-like problems. The only way you're going to get better at this and understand and feel better with the rhythm is by practicing your own examples. If you want, go back to video lesson number 4 and see how we did the last 2 questions and try and do these 4 questions by yourself. I'll pause the video. And let's say you're coming back to the video when you want to see the solutions. So we'll go step by step on exactly how to do them. So this was the first question. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okie dokie. So remember, follow the steps, right? Follow the steps that were in the previous video. Step number 1, group them. So you have this, and you 1, 2, and a 1, 2. Okay. What's the GCF of 40 and 8? It will be 8. What's the GCF of r cubed and r squared? It's r squared. Okay. If you felt like that was too fast, you have to get good at finding the GCF. Okay. You have to get good at it. Practice. Go back to lesson number 1, lesson number 2. Okay. If you are confused on why this is the GCF, then you really need to go back to these 2 lessons to get a better feel of it, because I'm not going to explain why certain things are the GCF. The GCF is something that you have to know from these, okay? So let's go on. So the 8r squared. So what do we do with that 8r squared, that GCF? We're going to divide each one by it. 40 divided by 8 is 5. R cubed divided by r squared is r. And this is minus 8 divided by 8 is minus 1. And r squared divided by r squared cancels out. So now that you have this 5r minus 1, what do you want? You want a 5r minus 1 over here. So let's take a look. I can already tell that this will be a little tricky. So let's see this. Let's say if we look at negative 25r plus 5. And you said, Mr. G, the GCF is 5. And I 100% agree. The GCF is 5. So if we take out 5, what do you get? You get 5. You get minus 5r plus 1. And mathematically, we're 100% correct. But this doesn't help us. Remember, we want to get the same guys over here. We want the same thing. So instead of taking out a 5, you're going to take out a minus 5. And then this becomes 5r minus 1. Okay? If you take out the 5, it won't help you. It won't give you that ability to group them. So you want to take out a minus 5. And then that will be the next thing. So it's minus 5 times 5r minus 1. Right? We take this, put it there. And then what do we get? We get, remember, these 2 are the same now. We could bring these 2 down. So this is 5r minus 1. And this is 8r squared minus 5. 8r squared minus 5. And then that's it. One thing I should have probably mentioned in the other video is that if you notice that these 2 binomials, that this whole thing, this original whole thing, where's the paper? Oh god, where did I put the paper? Okay, never mind. This whole thing is equal to this times this. So to check, you should multiply this binomial times this binomial. You get the original binomial. Okay, it has to happen. Remember, this whole thing is equal to this. All right. Let's try and do question number 2. Over here. All right. Let me shift this a little bit. The zoom. Okay, good. So what do we have? We have 35x cubed minus 10x squared minus 56x plus 16. So first things first, group them, the group terms. Now find the GCF. The GCF of these 2 guys will be 5x squared. Okay. And when we factor out 5x squared, we should get 7x minus 2. Okay. Now if we have a 7x minus 2 over here, we got to get a 7x minus 2 over here. So now let's say if you take out, what's the GCF of negative 56 and 16? It's 8. But if you take out 8, what are you going to get? Let's say, again, just to see it, negative 56x plus 16. If you take out 8, you get negative 7x plus 2. And this doesn't help us, this negative 7x plus 2. We want a 7x minus 2. So instead of taking out 8, take out negative 8. And then you'll get your 7x minus 2. Okay? Because negative 56 divided by negative 8 is 7. And, you know, the x is, stays. And 16 divided by negative 8 is negative 2. Okay? So now these two are the same. We could group them. 5x squared. You know, that 5x squared and that minus 8 come down together. And 7x minus 2, 7x minus 2 is common. Okay. Next one. First things first. Group them. Group them. The GCF of this is n squared. And if you factor it out, you get 3n minus 2. And here, you're going to want to take out a minus 3. And then you get 3n minus 2. Okay. If this was very fast, what I just did here, which it should be, pause the video, take your time, see what happened. Okay? Take your time. You know, whenever you see these videos, if something happens too fast, pause, rewind, go back, see the step. But knowing the technique that we did here and for that question here, this will be intuitive. Okay? You don't want to take out a 3. You want to take out a minus 3. And when you take out the minus 3, you get that. So then what does this become? You group them, n squared minus 3 and 3n minus 2. Okay, let's do the next one. Group them, group them, group them, group them. Okay. GCF of this is 2v squared. And if you divide it, you get 7v plus 5. And the second you get is 7v plus 5. You want this here. But let's look at this. Minus 7v minus 5. What's the GCF of this group? It's 1. It's 1. The biggest number that goes into 7 and 5 is 1. Okay? And you have a v. So, but you don't want to factor out positive 1. Okay? You're going to factor out a negative 1. Because let's say if you have negative 7v minus 5, that's the same as negative 1 times 7v plus 5. These two are the same. And we're going to use this guy because this and this will be common. And that will help us. So this will be minus 1 times 7v plus 5. And then we get, these two are the same. So here we have 2v squared minus 1 and 7v plus 5. Okay. Hopefully you're getting the rhythm of this. If you ever want, just pause the video and try and do the rest by yourself. So yeah. Let's see, this one. I'll do it a little faster. Here, 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 here. Right? Oh wait, yeah, these two questions, 5 and 6, they were from where? Where were they from? They were from... yeah. These were some extra questions I had for you guys. So this is question 1 is good, 2, 3, 4, 7 is a good question. Oh yeah, just pause the video and write it down and try and answer it, and then I'll put the solutions up. 10 is a good one, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay. Okay, I'll just do 5 and 6, right? Which is really just 1 and 2, which is just really 1 and 2 over here. I'll do that and then no more. Okay, you can do it on your own. So let's see. GCF of 8 and 64 is 8, is r squared. This will be r minus 8. Okay. And if I have an r minus 8, oh, I already have an r minus 8 here. So what do I factor out? It's a little strange, but it's just a plus 1. It will be plus 1, and then r minus 8. And now these two are common. It's r minus 8 and 8r squared plus 1. Okay. This one here, GCF of 12 and 21 is 3. P cubed P squared is, oh wait, whoops. Going too fast, Mr. G. Calmate. Okay. Okay, so we have 12 and 21 is 3. P cubed P squared, you have P squared. And then you have 4P minus 7. And the second you get a 4P minus 7, hopefully you can get a 4P minus 7 here. GCF of 28 and negative 49 is 7. And then you get, divide that, you get 4p. 28 divided by 7 is 4, so that's 4p. And this is minus 7. And then life is good. 3p squared plus 7 and 4p minus 7. Okie dokie. So what I'll do is go back just to see them, but I'll write this. I'll actually just show you the solutions. So if you want to try and work on some of these questions that I gave you, go back, write the questions down, practice. And what I'll do is, let's say, pause, 3, 2, 1. Here are the solutions, okay? Here are the solutions. If you don't want to see the solutions, don't see this next part. But if you do, here. So, yeah, 1 and 2 we did. So those are the solutions. Were they right? Yes, of course they were right. Wait. Yep, they were right. Okay, so 1 and 2 are there. 3, that's the solution for 3. That's the solution for 4. Let's see. Question 7. That was the solution, right? Question 10, that was the solution. Question 11, wait, can you see this? Let me turn the light off. Is that better? No, that's not better. Nope. So, here it is. That one is for... Yeah, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, hopefully this helped. If there are any questions on this, always feel free to ask. Okay, I'll see you.